The featureless protagonist is a trope commonly used in video games, where the player character is given no prior background or even a set appearance, so that they can act as a cipher for the player. Upon starting up Destiny for the first time, players are given a few options on how to customize their character. What Destiny does differently than many other games, however, is make this lack of backstory a key feature of their character, and of Guardians in general. Let's dig into that. As mentioned previously, when the Traveler sacrificed itself to push back the darkness, it simultaneously created the Ghosts. Each of these tiny robots went out into the galaxy to find a specific dead human. It's unknown by what criteria each Ghost chooses their partner, even to the Ghosts themselves, but some 700 years after the collapse of the Golden Age, there are still Ghosts who haven't found their Guardians. When a Ghost does invariably come across that special corpse, they will resurrect them, an act which is, again, a mystery to even the Ghosts. The resurrected human will return to life in seemingly peak physical condition, but lacking any memory of their past life. As you might expect, the first moments of a Guardian's second life can be confusing, to say the least. In the time after the collapse, during what came to be known as the Dark Age, those resurrected by the Ghosts were known as Risen, and were generally reacted to with caution and suspicion. Though seemingly chosen by the light, the Risen were still human, and in the chaos of the Dark Age, they would often use their newfound powers for personal gain and subjugation. Many Risen would go on to become warlords, ruling over human settlements and battling with each other for goods and territory, with normal humans suffering the most. Although the Risen were functionally immortal due to the ability of the Ghost to revive them from death, it was found that destroying the Ghost itself would sever a Risen's connection to the light, and prevent any further resurrections. Killing a Risen like this was known as a final death. Luckily, there were some Risen who fought against their warlord brethren and sought to protect humanity. They would go on to form such groups as the Iron Lords or the Pilgrim Guard, establishing a knightly set of ethics among the Risen. Over time, more and more Risen joined these causes, and soon the warlords were no more, either turning away from their barbaric ways, or meeting their final deaths. It was also around this time that the last city began to form beneath the dormant Traveler, with the Pilgrim Guard specifically aiding in its construction and protection. These would be the first true Guardians. With the history lesson out of the way, let's get to the specifics of the modern Guardian. Guardians typically come in three varieties: Titans, Hunters, or Warlocks. Titans are directly descended from the Pilgrim Guard, with their closest analog being that of a medieval knight. It was Titans who built the wall around the city, and who have protected it ever since, becoming heroes of such battles as Twilight Gap and Six Fronts, which I'll cover in further videos. They tend to prefer brute force over any other course of action, and are typically distinguished by their heavy armor. Recognizable by their hooded cloaks, Hunters are gunslingers and rogues, focusing more on survivalism and exploration than direct conflict. They are the ones blazing trails on lost planets so that the rest of humanity can follow, while also acting as spies and saboteurs among enemy factions. Last, but not least, are the Warlocks. Warlocks are more at home in a library than on the battlefield, but can nonetheless be vicious foes due to their impressive command over the light. They are primarily scholars and historians, unraveling the secrets of the past, present, and future. Each of these branches is led by a single individual who form the Vanguard. While not an official governing body, the Vanguard has over time taken on more and more duties pertaining to the city and its security. At the moment, the Hunter Vanguard position remains open due to the death of its previous occupant, Cade 6. Interestingly, after himself being killed, Cade 6's killer would be revived as a Guardian, with no memory of his crimes. Though Guardians are born of the light, that doesn't stop them from occasionally turning away from it or outright embracing darkness. As our understanding of these conflicting forces grows, darkness is more often seen as a tool to be utilized than something to be feared. In some cases, however, Guardians have been overcome by darkness and turned on their fellow Guardians, the most notable of these being Dredgen Yor, who wielded the corrupted hand cannon Thorn, which feeds on light. There are still many mysteries surrounding Guardians, such as their past lives, why they were chosen by the Traveler, and what role they will play in future conflicts. For now, you hopefully have a better understanding of these characters, and the important role they play in the Destiny universe.